Hey guys, I'm Rob.
I'm Jonathan.
Welcome to another casual podcast. Guys, today we have an amazing special guest.
This is so awesome. I'm a huge fan of hers. She loves to eat burgers. She loves lifting heavy, and she loves getting thick.
Yes.
Please welcome Jessic-Rose Clark. There she is.
Yes.
Hi.
Welcome.
Yes, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
I want to start by saying congratulations on that big TKO win against Sarah Alpar. It was an amazing win, very dominant. I think you really showed that you're a very well-rounded fighter. I mean, amazing takedown defense. The referee stoppage was a little odd, but I mean, you basically TKO'd her twice. So it was, but really you showed it. It was amazing to watch, and I was, I'm a huge fan. So.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I actually wasn't trying to show that I was well-rounded. I was trying to just strike, and then I kind of got caught up. So, but that's fine. That's cool too.
Well, she was trying to go for the takedown quite a bit, and you did great, staying on your feet and then even getting takedowns yourself.
And your presser was fucking hilarious when
oh my God,
they said that you broke her nose, like it was like a week before her wedding or something.
Yeah, I think 3 weeks. He was like, "Do you feel bad about it?" Like, what the fuck? Why would you even say that? Of course I feel bad now.
You were so genuine about it. You like literally had no idea.
No, I didn't know.
That's
all right,
crazy.
so let's jump in this quick interview here. So I wanted to start by saying, I grew up in a lower class family in the south side of Chicago. We literally had like a 3-room, 4-room place. It was nothing fancy. I shared my rooms with my brothers. And for me, that really allowed me to understand what family meant. And I will never forget when I found acting. And acting to me symbolized a way out of the south side of Chicago. It symbolized something more than what I've grown accustomed to. And moreover, it made me realize that that old saying, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, that rang so true to me. So I just wanted to ask you a little bit about your upbringing and what it meant to you when you found MMA.
So I grew up, I'm the oldest of, I think it's like 17 collectively. 8 of us by blood. So I have 1 full brother, 1 full sister, then a bunch of half brothers and half sisters, and then a bunch of like brothers and sisters through marriage, so they're like my brothers and sisters,
Right.
But yeah, I think collectively there's about 17 of us. I grew up with 6 of them. And we spent a lot of time traveling around with my mom. My mom was single parent for a long time. Just traveling around in a van. Like we lived on different communities, all hippie communes. I lived in nudist colonies. Like we lived a very unique upbringing. I spent a lot of time out in the bush or the forest. I don't know what you guys call it, the woods.
Yeah.
I don't know. Whenever I say, yeah, I grew up in the bush, they're like, what the fuck? Yeah, I think it means something a little different in America. But yeah, like I grew up in the bush, like no TV, no radio, like pretty far removed from like commercial, I guess, everything that people my age know growing up. I'm 33. Yeah, I'm 33 next month, and I talk to people my own age, and they're like, "Oh, so do you remember this? Do you remember this? Like TV shows, music, and whatever." I'm like, "Fuck no, I know none of that. I can show you how to start a fire, but I don't know." Like I don't know toys, I don't know shows, people, anything, But yeah, I think that I did that for a long time. I was homeschooled for a long time, and then when I finally went to school, I was always very independent. I moved out of home when I was 16, and I was going to high school and working full time at the same time. And I've just always worked, like whether it was working on schoolwork, whether it was working whilst going to school, whether it was working full time. Like I've always worked, and a lot of that. And I know a lot of that comes from my upbringing because we had nothing, like we grew up very poor. We grew up not knowing like what we were going to be able to eat the next week. Like we grew up eating a lot of rice, eating a lot of lentils. My mom was in and out of hospital a lot. Yeah. So we just we didn't really have anything. growing up. So then when I kind of was old enough to start fending for myself and working, like I wanted to work. I wanted all those things that I couldn't have when I was younger, you know, and I wanted to be someone in my family that my brothers and sisters could come to when they needed help, you know, and I feel like I've been that person for them. I've always given them like the last cent that I have, you know. If my brothers and sisters ask me for something, like even if it means I go without food the next week, I'll always make sure they're okay. So that's kind of always been my mentality, and I think that really allows me to commit to what I'm doing right now. You know, like there's very little money in this industry. There's no fame. There's not a lot of glory. Like all these things that I feel like kids dream of. You know, you don't have that in this sport. Like this sport is fucking hard. It's the daily grind is hard. You know, every day we're getting beat up, and there's no guarantee that you're ever going to get to showcase it. There's no guarantee that you're ever going to be able to make a living off it. Like there's no guarantee of even how long you're going to be able to continue it. And
How did you
I definitely,
how did you
how did I,
how did you find fighting? How did you
I was powerlifting, and I was dating a guy who did kickboxing. And so I was trying to get ready for my first powerlifting meet, and I had to drop a couple of pounds. So he was like, oh, why don't you come to kickboxing? And just the first day I went, I was like, this is it. Like I found myself straight away from that very first moment. From like the first punch I threw, I was like, fuck, like I've done it. You know, I think I was 22. And I'd been working in bars and doing a lot of drugs, drinking a lot of alcohol, partying a lot. And then I found this thing, and I was like, it was the one thing in my life that ever made me feel complete, you know, like it, and that's why I've never left, you know, like up until then I've been in so many different industries. Like I sold power tools. I worked in hospitals. Like I did so many different bizarre things. And this was the one thing where I was like, fuck, like this is it, you know, I found it. And yeah, and then like, I think it gave me a real sense of community and family that maybe I was missing growing up so secluded as well, you know. So it definitely like it's plugged a lot of missing. I found a lot of missing pieces through MMA. Like I've been able to fill those gaps, if that makes sense.
amazing?
Absolutely.
Sorry,
That's
I
awesome.
talk a lot.
No,
You gotta interrupt me, all right?
it's really interesting.
Post.
Yeah. So in your last Instagram post, you were saying that you have a torn ACL, and unfortunately you won't be fighting until 2021, which is really unfortunate. I'm really sorry to hear that. You know, and you've really been through a lot, and just from, you know, like you were just saying with your upbringing, and now, you know, this last year you had an injury, and now there's, you know, another injury. So how do you stay so positive and so mentally strong?
It's like what he just said. If you do something you love, you never work a day in your life, right? Like,
Absolutely.
even though, yeah, now I'm going to have surgery, and I'm going to be, you know, it might be 9-10 months before I get to compete again. It's going to be 6 months before I can even do my sport again.
Right.
Like, the beautiful thing about MMA is that there's always something I can do. So I may not be able to fight, but there's still training I can do. There's still, you know,
Absolutely.
media I can do. I can put energy into other things. Like I have other things that I've been wanting to work on, but I haven't had time to do them because I've been training so much, you know. So it's almost like a blessing in disguise. It's giving me an opportunity to create something outside of fighting, which was the same when I injured my foot last year, or the year before, whatever it was, last year, I think. It was the same sort of thing. Like before I got injured, I was so fixated on the sport that I like had a moment where I was like, fuck, if I get injured and I can't fight anymore, like I have nothing. I have no external skill set. Like I have nothing in the works. I have nothing planned. I have nothing to fall back on. And so that really, getting injured last time really gave me the opportunity to create that. And now getting injured this time is just giving me an opportunity to put more energy into those things, you know, because like
Absolutely.
I'm 33. I'm not going to fight that much longer. Like I got a few more years left, you know, but I always said 35 was going to be my cutoff, but with how I'm feeling, it's going to be a little longer than that. But you know, when you're coming to the end of your career and you can see it, like I can see it's not that far off. I need to make sure that I have other things going on. So that kind of, I'm bummed out about being injured, not being able to train and not being able to fight, but Like, I have so much other shit to do that it's really,
I think
it's not that big a deal.
Now is the perfect time to start planning your chain of burger restaurants, right?
100%.
Absolutely.
First I got to get another restaurant to name a burger after me, and then I'm doing some stuff with burgers. That's part of my plan. Don't worry.
You owe me a burger based on the last
I
fight.
do. I know. I haven't forgotten.
All right. So you made your fighting debut in 2012, which is absurd because in a matter of 8 years, you've quickly become a rising star in the UFC. So I wanted to ask you, what is your goal as a fighter? And moreover, where do you see yourself in the next 8 years?
I want to make money. If a belt comes with that, cool. If it doesn't, then that's cool too. Like, I want to do everything I can to make as much as I can from this sport. In the next 8 years, I don't know, like, I would like to get into acting. That's something I think I would be really good at. I know I have a very unique look, so I might have pigeonholed myself, but
plenty of that stuff. Then
yeah, right. That's definitely something that I want to get into, and I've been trying to talk to people about that, and I'm bad at accents, so I might need to practice an American accent.
Let's hear your American accent.
No, it's so bad. No, no. It's like straight Valley Girl. It's like I fucking watched nothing but Paris Hilton and what's the other one? Nicole Richie. It's so bad. It's so bad. But I definitely need to work on that. But I think I have the personality and the character to be good in media. And I always knew I was going to be center stage, maybe. Like I've always felt like I'd be in the spotlight. So I think whatever I do beyond this is I'm going to be in the spotlight, whether that's, I don't know, commentating, acting, doing, whatever. I'm not sure. I just know it's going to be within that realm.
And you were saying you are starting a YouTube channel as well.
I mean, I have one, but I haven't been active on it. But I have like a little Thicc program planned,
and
I'm just
name ever, by the way.
Awesome.
Yeah, you like it? Someone
really good.
I was with my trainer the other day, and I was like lifting. I told him, he's like, "What are you doing after this?" Like, "I'm going to get a fucking burger." And I was like, "Eat burgers, lift heavy." And he's like, "What?" And I was like, "You don't get it."
You don't get it. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, it's fucking real though. Like, I really do that shit. It changed my life.
Huh. So you beat some big names at flyweight as well, like Beck Rawlings and Paige Van Zandt. And there's a lot of big names now that you're at bantamweight. Is there any that you eventually look forward to fighting? Anybody in particular? Or?
I know Irene Aldana is pretty close to fighting for the title, but I thought years ago when we were both still in Invicta that would be someone that I fought,
Right.
So she's definitely on the hit list. Betch Kahea, I always thought I would fight her, but I know she's about to have her retirement fight, which really bums me out because I remember so vividly. I had this fucking striking coach, and he was like this Irish gangster. This is back in Brisbane, in Australia. And we would train at 5 a.m. every single morning. And I remember every time Betch fought, I would go in there and I'm like, I'm going to fuck her up one day. And I was so like, she was my goal, So when I saw she was retiring, right as I come back into bantamweight, that bummed me out a bit because I still thought that would happen. But yeah, other than that, there's a lot of good girls at bantamweight.
Absolutely.
I think so. We shouldn't call it the hit list. We should call it the thick list.
Yeah,
the thick list?
Sure. Yeah. That's good.
I like that.
All right. So you are coming off an amazing win against Sarah Alpar. Like we said, your performance was damn near flawless. But after coming off of 2 losses in a row, you had this amazing performance. So I want to know, how important was it to you to get that win against Sarah? And how do you prepare yourself mentally for a fight when you suffer a couple losses in a row?
I've had 2 losses in a row before. And so like someone had said to me like, oh, you've had 2 losses in a row before and you came back and put together 3-fight win streak. Do you think that's like your method? And I was like, no, that's fucking stupid. Like, how can you control that, right? But shit, who knows? Maybe it will be. Maybe I'm going to win the next 2 and then lose 2 in a row. But honestly, like, the only thing that made me really want to actually win was because I felt like my UFC contract was riding on it. And so if I lost my UFC contract, then I lose my visa and I have to go back to Australia. And I don't want to do that because I've built a life here that I would like to continue. That was the only real motivation to win, if that makes sense. My goal going into that fight was to be able to do everything that I'd been training, and was just to be happy and enjoy it again, because I haven't enjoyed fighting. I haven't enjoyed training. Like, I haven't enjoyed the sport in a long time. And that is when it turns into work, right? Is when you hate it and it becomes a chore every day. And that's how I've been feeling for the last couple of years. So since my last loss in November last year, like, I started working with therapists and talking to my coach a lot more. And that became the primary focus, was just be happy and enjoy it. And if the win comes, then cool. And if it doesn't, then fuck it, we'll figure it out beyond that, you know? So getting the win was amazing. Like, yeah, that was awesome, you know, because especially going into surgery, it meant I got paid a little more. Like, I have a little bit of a wave behind me right now, which I think is important with, you know, not with maybe staying relevant whilst being out for so long. But honestly, like, I just wanted to love it again. And I did. Like, and I think everyone could see that. That was the biggest thing that.
Was great. You were just so,
absolutely,
like, you were so relaxed in the ring. Like, there was, I mean, you know, you can just see some fighters, they walk in the ring and they're just like so tense, and like, you know, you were just like just couldn't be, you didn't want to be anywhere else.
Like having fun.
Yeah, and that was it. And that was like, I accomplished my goal, right? That was my only goal going into there. So that's a huge achievement for me, because it's been years since I've felt that good fighting.
Right. So can I ask you, just a quick sidestep, did you injure your knee on the knee to her face?
No, no. I heard it. I injured it about 8 weeks prior to that fight.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then there was one point, I think in the third round, where she was on the ground. I was kind of sitting on top of her, and she had my foot, and I was like trying to pull my knee out, and I felt it kind of go again then. So yeah, but it was definitely already injured. I just didn't know how bad.
Right. So, and then you were saying that you didn't have to cut much weight. I think you said only about 2 pounds you had to cut.
Yeah.
Now that you're at bantamweight. So, and then other organizations like One Championship, they don't allow their fighters to dehydrate themselves. So for you, how beneficial is it to not have to worry about cutting so much weight anymore?
Honestly, it was a huge weight off my shoulders, especially being able to go, like, previously fighting at flyweight, all camp was just spent trying to lose weight. And I felt like I wasn't learning or progressing or that's a dog toy. I
thought it was a fucking squirrel.
Yeah.
Come here. No, it's a dog. Come here. She likes to
Aww.
You.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so she does this. It's like her thing. Whenever I'm on an interview, this is her fucking thing. Yeah, honestly, like, through camp, it was so, I was so much calmer. It was just so much easier because I didn't have to think, like, fuck, I got to eat burgers and cupcakes all camp. I literally didn't diet, which was amazing. And then it was just in fight week, I cut out carbs. And then by the time it came down to weight cut, I only had 2 pounds, which still sucked. Like, even cutting 1 pound fucking sucks. But I used to cut 17 to get to flyweight. So 2 pounds, oh my God, that was amazing. And then on fight night was when I noticed the biggest difference, was because after we fought, like, I felt like I hadn't even fought. It was so bizarre. Like, my muscles felt good. My arms weren't tired. Like, I didn't feel fatigued in the slightest. Like, I've never felt that fresh physically that I feel like I could have had 3 more of those fights. Like, it was no problem.
When you got into the grappling exchanges, did you feel the size difference now that you're up at bantamweight, or did you feel comfortable?
No, I felt good because I always fought at bantamweight before I got signed to the UFC. Like, my whole career has been at bantamweight. I've fought a whole bunch of featherweights who are now fighting in Bellator. Like, Arlene Blanco's about to fight for the Bellator 145 title against Chris Cyborg. Like, I beat her back home, you know. So I was never undersized.
Mm-hmm.
It's taken a while to put weight back on after destroying my body trying to cut to flyweight. But even when I fought Pani and I had food poisoning all week in Moscow last year, even when I fought her, like I never felt that there was a size or a strength difference. Mind you, like Sarah's not a big bantamweight anyway. There are some girls who are a lot bigger, and there are some girls who get really fucking heavy outside of camp. So ask me again when I fight one of those girls.
Right.
I'm not worried about it. Like I do so much
sure.
strength training and wrestling and everything that I don't think it's going to be an issue.
Right.
So we have to tell you, the fans of the page on Casual MMA and my own, once we posted that we were going to have you on the podcast, our DMs got lit up with and inundated with a bunch of questions. We asked some fans to ask some questions, so Rob's going to bring up some of the questions that people wanted to hear from you.
Yeah, okay. There was a lot of questions. I mean, the response I got back when I posted this was amazing. I mean, obviously a lot of crazy people, but
welcome to my life.
Yeah. I mean, that was probably a majority of it, but
because you made that post on your story and you were like, these are the kind of fucking messages I get on DMs, and I hit you up and I was like, dude, you gotta see the one that I got. You're like, send it.
I want to see them.
Okay, so right, would you marry a casual? Sorry, I had one.
Did you ask that?
No. Okay, here's
Would you
a good
marry
one.
A casual MMA podcast host?
That's a good one.
From Bob.
Yeah. Okay, so the one they call Chris. Have you ever had to fight an opponent you considered a friend?
Not someone that I've been friends with beforehand. I've fought a lot of friendly acquaintances, if that makes sense.
Okay. God, a lot of this stuff is just more crazy than anything. Oh, who's your favorite UFC? Sorry. Who's your favorite UFC fighter that you look up to?
Me. I'm my favorite UFC fighter.
That is an amazing answer. I love that. I'll be honest.
Ask some crazy ones. What are some of the weird ones?
Oh, Jesus. Okay.
I mean, I don't need to answer it.
There's this one, Shay, I'm a simp for you. Oh, here's what's your favorite thing to train and what's your least favorite? This is from Malachi.
What's my favorite? My favorite thing is kickboxing.
That's Malachi, by the way.
Malachi.
Yeah, Malachi. That's
I'm gonna go with. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, Malachi sounds a lot. Yep. Oh my God.
My next dog is gonna be called Malachi now.
Thought it was like an Italian guy or something.
Polish cookie.
Yeah.
Anyway, my favorite thing is kickboxing. My least favorite thing is doing sprints on the assault bike.
Okay.
Fucking Malachi.
Sorry. And why are you ducking Henry Cejudo for the Intergender Championship?
What?
Why won't you fight Henry Cejudo?
Because I have 3 C's now.
Right.
I think that's what it is.
And what was the first Well, actually, yeah.
That's mine.
Yeah. Somebody stole your.
No, we're gonna get to that right now.
I can't. Somebody stole your question. Yeah, we'll go on to that.
All right now.
All right. So the Fast 10.
This is our.
You seem very excited. You're so excited for this right now.
This is the best part.
This is our favorite part of the whole interview.
Yeah.
You've gone 3 rounds. Oh, that's Melissa. She's walking back. You've gone 3 rounds with people before. Have you ever gone 5 rounds with someone in a fight?
I have.
You have.
Yes.
Have you ever gone 10 rounds with anybody?
No.
Well, you're about to go 10 rounds with Jonathan and Rob. Are you ready?
Yes.
These are quick fire answers and questions.
Very important.
And here we go. Are you ready?
There you go.
Very serious questions.
Yes.
Okay.
Question number 1. What was your first tattoo and why?
Wait, I'm going to show you. Wait, it looks weirder than it is. That. It's a gecko. It sucks. It's the worst tattoo. It sucks. But my mum got it for me for my 18th birthday, so I keep it. But no one ever sees it, but it fucking blows, man.
It means something. Okay. If you could domesticate any animal in the world, which would you pick?
Oh, that's it. Komodo dragon.
Ooh,
Awesome. Love that.
very
Yeah.
good.
All
All
right.
right. Would you rather have 4 arms or 4 legs?
That's a good one. This was my favorite one.
It's so good.
It's a good question.
It's a great question. Forearms.
Yeah, I
I feel like
so
I'd be
too.
like an orangutan, like a
Right.
chimpanzee, right?
You can do a lot more. Yeah.
You know, a lot
Yeah.
of people say spiders have 8 legs. I say they have 8 arms.
See?
Yeah.
It's like
Do
half
they
full
have
or half
hands,
empty.
though? Do they have hands or do they have feet?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Those
All
are
right,
feet.
you're up.
All right. If you could tell your teenage self one thing, what would it be?
Stop doing drugs.
That's what I should have told myself to.
All right. What is the most memorable present you've ever received?
Oh, that's a good one. I have it's in the van. I have a teddy bear that my grandma gave me for my 10th birthday that I still have. It's outside of my van right now. So it's 23 years old.
That's super cool.
Awesome. What is the best place to get a burger, or what is your favorite burger?
Oh, wait, in this country or in general?
In general, yeah.
Honestly, back home we have so many good burger places. There's one spot in Bondi
Really?
called Milky Lane. Oh my god, it's fucking fat burgers though, like proper fat burgers. But
Right.
fuck me, it's so good.
When I was
So good.
When I was in Sydney, there was an amazing burger spot we had in downtown Sydney. There's like these thick ass, like organic grass-fed burgers. It was so
Yep.
good. Yeah.
So, I mean, in Australia, the food is just fucking. The
Clean.
food is what you go there for. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow.
All right. What is your favorite cereal?
Oh, great grains, dates, raisins, and pecans, something like that. I eat it at 3 a.m. every single morning. It's my favorite thing. I get so excited for my 3 a.m. fucking great grain cereal.
3 a.m.? Or are you going to bed
Yeah.
at 3 a.m.?
No, I just wake up. I wake up at like 2:45, and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm hungry." So I have a big bowl of cereal.
Oh, you're not like up for the day.
No. I go back to bed. So I go to bed at 10, and then I get up
Right.
at like 2:45, 3 o'clock, eat cereal, go back to bed, get up at like 5 or 6.
Awesome.
Gotcha.
What's the worst job you've ever had?
Masseuse in a strip club.
Sounds.
Wait, we have to.
In two different strip clubs.
sounds terrible.
It sounds worse than it is.
Yeah.
I would go and give dudes shoulder rubs while they were watching the girls on stage, and I would get $20. It's kind of gross though, but probably not as gross as what the other girls were doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Here's my last question of this. Rob has one more. So you and I have a mutual friend. One of my dear friends, Troy Kinney.
Troy Kinney.
Troy Kinney and I have been friends for like almost 20 years.
Really?
He's
I
one of my
fucking love
dear
that
people in
man.
the world. Like when I went to Australia, I was visiting him in Melbourne.
Yeah.
So this question's actually from Troy Kinney to me. For you.
Okay.
He says, what are the names of your goldfish?
Because Troy and I have this conversation all the time. So one was Swim Shady, and then the other one was Robert Downey Jr.
Wait, what is it? Robert Drowning?
Robert Downey Jr.
Oh my god, that is the best.
Swim Shady is like.
Oh my god, it's the best I've never heard it. That is amazing.
Thank you.
Oh my god. Okay. Last question for me. If you could go back in time for one day, which year would you pick?
What year did Nicolas Cage first start acting? Because I want to go and punch him in the face and tell him not to do it.
Okay.
Raising
Then
Arizona. I mean, it had to be like right around that time, like early 80s.
I was gonna say, I wouldn't even have been alive.
go there,
Yeah.
take care of it.
Have
Okay.
you've seen Raising
Like,
Arizona?
no, Nicholas, stop. No,
Have you seen Raising Arizona?
no.
Oh, you need to like watch Raising Arizona. It's like
Really?
it's hilarious. Hilarious.
Okay.
Yeah.
I actually like Nicolas Cage movies. I don't like him for some reason. I think it was Ghost Rider.
He's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, well, Jess, that's all we got for you. I just have to say, thank you for coming on. We are both huge fans of yours, and we look forward to watching your star rise in the UFC. And it's been an absolute honor having you on the podcast.
Thank you. This was really fun. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
guys.
I really appreciate it.
I'm Jonathan.
I'm Rob. Thanks, guys.
And that's Jesse. Jess.
I'm Jesse. Hi.
All right, guys.
Bye.
This has been another episode of Casual Podcast. We'll see you next time. Thank you.
See you guys.